In the lie, stop, imagine being the you first, seeing the truth. Stashing grams in the boot, ratchet, seeing them shoot. Too many RIPTs and freeing balloons. Can't afford the lawyer fees, I'm screaming free all the goons. I remember rapping in parks with good people I knew. I keep a lot in my heart, my block being it too.
Pouring on bitches in the living room, but they ain't the niggas thinking they cool. They not thinking in the beat, it's like the swimming pool, all drippy. And my style is all 50, bought an A for 25. And niggas hating while they high, niggas Satan is alive. I'm saying what I mean and you just saying what's a lie. I say what I supply, I'm too live with it, I'm too tried with it. And I ain't got a block, but I'm fresh mind with it.
On my block, niggas flex down, poppin' lock. Word to young block, my city fresh like Stop and Shop. I gotta hop the turnstile or get to work late. Bitch, I'm headed straight there, fuck the wordplay. Niggas watered down for the count, washed out and climbing up the charts like spiders on water spouts. They could do it for the clout, I took a shorter route, still killing shit like slaughterhouse for your clowns. Enormous couch slump while the money knock. Fuck the ops, niggas try and stick me like a honey top. Fuck the cops, something funky in my socks. Getting funky in the spot while them hungry niggas watch.
They say queens get the money, but can we get some peace? Ain't no reason to be losing young kings on these streets. Lost tie at 15, a dice game with the rock. It was hard to accept my first love in the sky. My big Billy from the east got caught up with the piece, fully loaded like a beast. So paranoia, never peace. Never knew what love was till I sat up in the dance. I don't mean do-si-do, spin around holding hands. I'm talking Q100 till they send them up the downstate. 6-hour drives for hot wings and a pound cake. All for your block, cause you got a reputation. No care about your family, all the time you facing. Baby girl ain't got a daddy, baby mom's always tripping. Cause you wanted fast money, water whipping in the kitchen. But you had no example, so how could I blame you? Welcome to my block when you're in jail or an angel.
I get the ink from my veins. I told a bitch don't touch the main, no, we fighting today. If you playing with my money, that's a problem with me. Nothing packing in our pockets, packed it up with cocaine. It's poison in the soil, you can't fix it with sage. You praying over all the oils, you ain't getting your way. You better open up them eyes, boy, don't you die. It's a blue and red collision like the 4th of July. Bloody uniforms and uniforms, crackers and ties. We play Monopoly, they monopolize. Acres in a mule, that's how you can apologize.
Yeah, and I done got the block, I got the whole city. 804 RVA, them real niggas fucking with me. Cause I'm witty but gritty, we cannot fuck with you if you be iffy. Bloodhound to the bullshit, try to pull tricks and I sniff you out quickly. Gotta get mine and get back a couple millies. I know this shit gonna be risky. Third eye, keep it open cause they try to hustle you. Rest in paradise, Nipsey. I know some niggas walking around with hollow tips. Full clip, trigger grip, not afraid of busting it. Another down, another round, can't stand the sound. Our people hurting, now you're willing to sit down and listen now. They tryna stick us for our paper, cause we want some acres. They tryna stick us for our labor, cause we're strong in nature. I cannot let my niggas down, I won't let them break us. We cannot let our niggas down, we won't let them break us.
And yo, them niggas be banging on my block, on my block. Ain't nobody dying on my watch, on my watch. I gotta smoke and stress, be having my mind blocked, my mind blocked. I'm tired of police watching on my block, on my block.
Toss right back to the hood. Ain't no shame in my game, I swear. I'm to call my phone. Knows that when I reach out that it's on. It's going down. My pimpin' strong, my pimpin' strong. Better find your tune, cause that's not the song. Never fall in love with what we agree. Just smoking on occasionally. Stuff like those tears. Don't really care who killed that noise. My girl's back at the crib. You need to chill. You just another side chick. Starting shouldn't blow up my phone. Shouldn't blow up my phone. You just another side chick. I call you girl when I'm all alone. You just another side chick. Probably just dropped you to the game. You just another side chick. Don't even remember your name. Look at me. Know your place, baby, so you don't gotta get put into it. You dig what I'm saying? It's that simple. Just play your role, and everything else will fall in place, I swear.
You're rocking with the Kim Dynasty Show.
Yeah. It's your girl Kim Dynasty Show, WEMS Radio. And I'm here with the one and only, If the Shoe Fits.
What's going on? What's going
Hello,
on?
gentlemen.
Hello.
How are you? How you doing?
Good. So, I'm going to get straight into it because we don't have a lot of time because I messed up. I'm so sorry. It's time.
Life happens.
All right, so what you guys got going on pretty much? I heard the music. Music's dope.
Thank you.
Yes.
I know about the performance.
We do.
Halftime's next.
Yes.
Yes.
So I want to know about all of it. What's going on? What you guys got going on?
Well, as of late, it's just been trying to build consistency with the performances, build consistency with social media, interacting with people who are interested in what we do and our brand and following us. It's been getting plans for merchandise together.
Okay.
It's been plans of trying to become better artists, making sure we're always being more consistent with the recording, with writing, with critiquing each other, and things of that nature. So it's just, we're trying to cover all the bases right now, internally and externally, trying to better ourselves as a group and individuals.
Okay. So you guys got a project out right now? Or?
We do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
What's the name of the project?
Shoe Boys Volume 1.
Yes.
Nice. Okay, how many joints on there?
Like 5?
About 5?
Okay.
No, it was like 6. It was like
6?
It's
Okay,
like
6.
6 and some skits.
Yeah.
So now this is your first?
Yes, that is as a group, yes, that is the first group project, yeah.
But individually, you guys have done your own projects?
A few of us. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but that's not what it's
That's
about.
Look, teamwork makes the dream work.
That's
Absolutely.
true.
Okay.
Absolutely. And then after that, we had 2 more songs that we released towards the tail end of 2019.
Okay.
So altogether, we have a nice little selection of songs on our SoundCloud, and we're, as Dawkins mentioned, working on trying to get more of that music out to the people. Definitely trying to drop another project during 2020 with a lot of, as he said once again, shows and merch and showing our faces on the internet to back that. So
Yeah, it seems almost like 2019 was a very quality preparation year for this 2020, where we're finally actually ready to roll out a lot of the stuff we've been working on in the previous year.
Yes.
So we're super excited to actually show what we've been working on, given it's been kind of mums. People that have shown up to our shows, like we actually throw shows in the Good Life Garden in Brooklyn.
Okay.
We actually perform a lot of unreleased stuff. So we're finally we're excited to actually have that released, so we can say you can go listen to that as soon as we
Are
get
you
on
guys
stage.
big on the performance part of
Yes.
music?
Yes.
Love that.
I mean, we kind of have to because
Yeah. I think that's missing in music. I don't think
You think
people
so?
perfect their performance.
I agree.
Yeah.
I definitely agree. There are a lot of, we see it all the time. Like we go to a lot of shows and we see that there are people who, a lot of them make good stuff, but we can tell that they haven't put like the time into performing that we have. They haven't put the time into practicing, haven't put the time into, audience interaction, engagement, and all that sort of stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
So we definitely see it, but that's what we feel is a part of what sets us above, just because we do take the time with things like that, and we do realize how important it is, and that can really propel you, because that's the difference between someone hearing a song like, yeah, that was cool, and then someone being like, yo, is this online right now?
Yeah, that is the difference, because that's the question we keep getting. Is this online now? So yes.
Yeah. I think it's very big, because I've seen a lot of big name people, and there's some people like, I'll have friends who be like, oh, I want to see so and so. I'm like, and because I know that person likes performing and this, that, and the other. She likes that stuff, so I'm like, no, maybe that's not the show for you.
Right.
You should see this person because you would love it.
Right. Yeah.
So, okay, so the Nets, how did that come about?
It's kind of a funny story. So, we linked up with a dope group, Wave Studios. It's a studio out in Huntington Station.
Okay.
Performed at one of their events. It was a comedy slash like hip hop and art show. We performed there for the first time and met somebody that said that we were awesome. It was basically just a conversation. Then months later, was hit up and was like, you know, listen, I have this position where we can get you guys moving, and it was just conversations from there. Yeah. So we took it step by step until we were actually able to get on there. So it was really awesome that kind of just off of us performing, someone thought that we were valid enough to be on that stage. And I think in a lot of people's opinions who were there, we stood up to the challenge. So it was a great time.
It was a good time.
Definitely. And that was the beginning of this year, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
That was good then.
Right at the start.
So what's next? So if the shoe fits.
We about to be everywhere. That's what's next.
You want to see our faces
everywhere.
Oh, absolutely.
We have a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah,
for March.
For March, we have another halftime show at the Nassau Coliseum on March 27th. We are opening up for the artist Dill on March 19th at Arlene's Groceries. We're doing an album release party on the 28th. It's
not our album.
Not our album. No, gotta clarify. You know,
one of the homies.
Oh, okay.
Shout out on the Dara.
But you guys are performing there.
We're performing, yes.
Okay.
But yeah, it's and then we're just gonna, in between doing all of that, we're also going to be recording and preparing the merchandise and stuff like that. So it's just a lot of this preparation, so we can be just fully focused and just dialed in from when everything's ready to go. So yeah.
Okay. So where are all you guys from, and how did you guys meet?
We're all from. Well, actually, so they were my backup dancers.
That's not.
Anyway, so we were all friends.
Yes.
And Bud was eating alone at a table at lunch. We were like, that's so sad.
Let's come hang out with the cool kids.
And then they were like, we'll be your backup dancers. And I was like, oh my god, wow, that's so
Oh my god. It's extra hilarious because he can't dance. So it's like.
Well, actually, someone in the group can't dance.
To clarify, it's him who can't dance. But you know.
Yeah, I just dance differently. Well, we grew up together. We all lived in the same town on Long Island for our formative years. Not all of us were there from like birth or whatever, but we were there for those years that count a lot. The middle school, the high school,
formative years.
Yeah, the formative years. So that was when.
What town was that? What town you guys grew up in?
Baldwin in Nassau County.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So for those who don't know or might sound familiar, that's right next to Rockville Center, Freeport, Hempstead, Oceanside is around there too. So it's right in Nassau County. We all went to the same high school. Around that time was when we all started hanging out together a lot.
Yeah.
All four of us in the same space constantly. Shout out to our homie Kinsey too. Our homie Kinsey. His house was the spot. Like that's where we would go whenever. If it was after practice, if it was a Friday night, if it was a Saturday evening, like that's where everybody would click up and meet. And I mean, I guess it just happened, organically. We eventually got into the music. I believe Rob might have been the first person to say that he was interested in music. He was definitely the first one that I heard. Yeah.
Tell him about the history.
What had happened was I had I was listening to a lot of like Notorious B.I.G. at the time, and I was like, I want to try this. So I saved up money for about a year, and I bought my first mic in the spring of 2015.
Okay.
Not 2015. Wow, 2011.
Yeah, I was like,
15.
yeah.
Wow, that's right around the corner.
Yeah, no, I'm crazy. Yeah, no.
We only
15.
been doing this a year.
Yeah, no. And it's funny that they mentioned Kenzie's house because I ordered the microphone and the mic stand to his house because I didn't want my parents to know that I spent that much money. So like I snuck in the microphone and the mic stand to my room and I was like, how do I do this? Yeah. And so from there, I just invited them over and I was like, y'all want to try this too? And then the first person to actually step to the mic, like after me, like trying to figure it out, was Candid.
Yeah, we was rapping in this man's laundry room.
Yes, yeah, we were rapping in the laundry room, trying to figure out how to stay on beat.
Over Lil B instrumentals.
Yeah, over Lil B instrumentals. Yeah.
That Lil Wayne Martian beat just really gave me a lot of trouble. 2011.
Yeah, it was a process, and then from there, they had come over, some other friends had come over, and then over the years, we just kept coming to my house to record, and over time, we improved, and we just gave it more and more commitment, more and more hours, more and more actually trying to take it seriously, and then once we went away to school, and we had to, we had to just sit down with each other and be like, are we gonna take this seriously? Are we going to pursue this as professionals for this for a career? And and we decided to then be serious, make a logo, make an actual plan of attack,
get a name,
Man.
The
name is super dope.
Get the branding,
get the branding, and then came, as we earlier discussed, the performing, practicing, putting in the 10,000 hours of just being on stage, engaging people, getting over that initial extreme nervousness. I know I had it. I don't know about the rest of them, but I was cooling. You were cooling. He was not cooling. I think I was the only one who was pretty nervous. But we had to get the chemistry down. We had to rehearse in basements, and we had to then just work on the music, work on performing, and then things started coming together when we started going out, and people were like, oh, you can actually do this. Oh, you're not trash. Like, I was
yes. That's my favorite.
And in the beginning, that was the most common backhanded compliment. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate everyone. Yeah, I appreciate everyone. We appreciate everyone who came out to support us and see us and post us on their social media. However, it was just interesting how they were like
a lot of wide eyes where it's like,
yep.
whoa,
Yes.
you guys aren't trash. Yeah. Like this is quality music.
Yeah.
And at first you kind of are taken back and you're like, was that kind of like disrespect in a sense? But it's like, no, I guess they are acknowledging you as a talented individual, as a group as well. So it's like, it's something that you could take in and be like, yo, I really appreciate it at a certain point, and it bounces off after a while.
Yeah, and I think a part of that is just that people aren't necessarily used to seeing us in that context, what I mean? So it's an adjustment. They're like, okay, I'm gonna come out and support you because you're the homie, and then they're like, and then by the end of it, they're like, oh wow,
they actually
I'm about to support you because I'm a fan. Like that's crazy. I didn't even know it was gonna get there.
And to see the moment when they realize what we're trying to do and we're actually doing in front of them and achieving it, it's beautiful. Because when we engage them and we get when the whole set is cohesive and when everyone in the room is having fun and enjoying a good experience together, by the end of it, they just want to have fun again with us. And that's what it is to be in the audience with in a show for us. It's just everyone's having fun, everyone's welcome, and everyone's just trying to have a good time. So
So, can we get into one of your songs?
Yeah, definitely.
You want to come through? All right, so let me see what we want to get into. All right. Anybody want to introduce Aphrodite?
Oh yeah, so Aphrodite is actually the first song that we had ever made. As a group, sorry. What Rob touched on everything except for the fact that we were actually releasing music when we were making it in high school. It was like more playful, like more jokey or whatever, but like there was good reception to it. So we knew that we could do this. But when we decided to get serious, we were like, yo, we've never all been on the same song. You know, so we were like, let's figure that out.
About anyone in particular?
Well, I mean, as with a lot of our songs, it's really just about pulling from lots of different experiences. Yeah. It's not like no one person's whole verse is gonna be about one thing or like one person or one whatever. It's just pulling from general feelings, things that you've seen, things that you felt, things you wish could have been, all of that sort of thing. You know what I'm saying? So Aphrodite is about, you know, you gotta figure, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you gotta figure out, are they really digging your vibe? Or is it just for show? You know what I'm saying? Like, you never really know.
Figure it out.
All right, so that's what we're going to get into next.
Great.
Kim Dynasty Show, If the Shoe Fits.
Yo.
Aphrodite.
Shut up, my Aphrodite's know the vibe is real. Have a good man, catch a heart attack in the head. I ain't coming at you rude, I just have to know. I walk this tightrope and do it with my eyes closed, I'm not sure. Yeah, this ain't easy, life's a gamble, trust me, I ain't know. But I think I see a girl that's worth the dice roll. There's no time to waste, this is the prime location. Nico gave some advice that he had thought would incite me. Said, you're dressed to impress me and you're bossed up. Only reason I just clean is cause I'm washed up. Excuse me, what's your name, miss? Yeah, this might be Rush, but it looks like you were crafted with the Midas touch. Smile so amazing that it lights mine up with the type of fragrance, never mind that look. See, it's hard to say this in this crowded place, but if you take my hand, I like to have this dance. And what happens now? Well, that's up to you. The only thing that matters here is you feel comfortable. Shout out my Aphrodites, know the vibe is rare. Have a good man, catch a heart attack in here. I ain't coming at you rude, I just have to know. Do you feel a nigga vibe or it's just for show? Shout out my Aphrodites, know the vibe is rare. Have a good man, catch a heart attack in here. I ain't coming at you rude, I just have to know. Do you feel a nigga vibe or it's just for show? Yeah, I used to wonder if I read a situation wrong, cause we would dance at parties every time they played your favorite song. I only figured that because we knew each other, you were comfortable with grinding up on me instead of other brothers. I can't assume that cause we grinded so hard that I should set you face down like a Yu-Gi-Oh card and be the gossip of the hour next morning at brunch. It's just as plausible that you don't get to dance so much. So here's the problem, how do I decipher when you're feeling me versus the times when you being super friendly? Cause pop culture says I make the first move, but sometimes I'm in the dark and I don't know what to do. Cause you can dig my vibe, you can even have a crush, but if I don't ever notice, everything could be a dub. And even then, I'll sit and overanalyze your words. I don't wanna be a nuisance, have your space, I won't disturb. Shout out my Aphrodites, know the vibe is rare. Have a good man, catch a heart attack in here. I ain't coming at you rude, I just have to know. Do you feel a nigga vibe or it's just for show? Shout out my Aphrodites, know the vibe is rare. Have a good man, catch a heart attack in here. I ain't coming at you rude, I just have to know. Do you feel a nigga vibe or it's just for show?
Can I take it down by tonight like you gon' catch a ride? Can I take it down while I turn off the lights as we get inside? Can I take it down, slay it, that holds you tight, loving you feels so right. You are my queen to me.
Hey girl, what's up? Shit, I ain't mean to come at you sideways, but your profile been in my mind for 5 days. Real price mouse with a game Bill Cosby, skin tone darker than the shades on Nazi. Finest girl I've seen since I was born. How we was vibing and had me deciding if I wanna get her wet, I might warn that I wanna give her head first like diaphragm. Check it, need a bottle, I got one. Like each laugh even more than the last one. Cookies on the table, asking her to pass one. She said that a cookie tastes better than that one. I'm like, oh shit, did she just say that? Did not expect it, cannot like replay that. Talking about music, I drive like a Maybach. She want her master, she bout to go pay that. And the only features that I'm thinking about is the ones on the face. Got my hands on the waist, gotta know how it tastes. Sat her on the couch, she said either hold your tongue or put it in my mouth. I was worried this might go south. Now I'm worried about being caught fucking in this house. She backed out last minute, all good. If she ain't wanna fuck, no reason that she should.
That was a good verse.
And that was Aphrodite.
That was Aphrodite. I like that.
You know,
thank you.
They're ready.
Thank you. So now, I do a portion of the show where I ask most influential. And I could go down my list, but instead I want to hear from each and every one of you. Who in your life, or who have you seen, or they could be famous, they could not be famous, could be personal. Who's most influential to you? All right, so in music, who's influential to you?
Not even that. I mean, there are some things that, like, maybe for me personally, I'll end up picking and choosing from, but I don't know if there's like one person or a set of people who are like, I'm like, yo, I embody your spirit.
Okay.
But I do this for you. I mean, obviously it's not like, it doesn't have to be that extreme, but I don't really think about it like that.
I could go through some inspiration for you.
Okay.
So the first one that comes to mind is Mick Jenkins, and that's because of his consistency and how persistent he was in his craft. Because the thing that like blew up for him was the Waters mixtape, but he released like 5 or 6 mixtapes before that. And like, yeah, they weren't moving in the way that he wanted them to. He wasn't getting the reception he wanted. But this man just kept going, and each project was better than the last one. And then, like, you know, before you know it, somebody will look at it. Somebody will put it in the right hands, point you in the right direction, and that's what happened for him. And I was like, that just goes to show that it is a marathon. It is not a sprint. Like, if you really want this, you have to show it each and every day. So that's one. Second inspiration is definitely Outkast, because they emerged upon the rap scene in a very polarizing time, but like they showed their stuff. It was a very, you know, East versus West Coast thing, but they were like, nah, man, we have songs. Y'all are gonna hear these songs. You might not like them at first, but the more you listen to them, the more you'll understand where we're coming from. So just having that ability to be bold and be different, like, that goes very far.
Yeah, I was gonna say Outkast as well, just because the fact that when they began, they started as very, very young kids under a person that just saw kind of like a light in them, and in a way, they just basically stayed in a space. Almost, I don't like to make connections from us to other groups, but they just stayed in the space, stayed consistent with it, and over time, things changed. The first time they dropped things, when they actually got awarded, a lot of people didn't agree with it. What you were saying with the East and West Coast thing,
back in '99, right?
And they said, you know what? Well, you guys haven't heard The Last of Us. This isn't a fluke. And lo and behold, they kept coming back with greater and greater hits. And I'd say, like, I always respect them, because in terms of like actually consistently putting out quality music that's almost like a Bogart of its time, they're so consistent with that. Like, they make sounds that are so different. Another person that's like that, even though I don't like agree with his personal values sometimes, is Kanye. I've always looked up to him as an artist, where like in terms of his music, he's always been like someone that I've respected, that's changed the culture in a lot of ways, where a lot of people might not understand what he does at a certain point, but then after a month or 2 months go by, you see that culture has changed, where like people are wearing the same stuff that he's wearing outside, people start making the same music that he's making, and he's done that but he's made that year over year again, over album over album. So it's like something I could always respect. That's really all I have. And I mean, Michael Jackson has always been a character. That's a given for a lot of artists.
Staple,
he's for multiple reasons. He's just an elite character.
Well, for me, I would say, going off what you would say, most influential, I would say first and foremost my parents. Probably the most influential figures in my life. And then other than them, it would have to be these three. I hate them. But, you know how that goes.
But you have to respect me.
And then musically and like personally, my cousin, who in the first place, he saw me trying to rap, but instead of like clowning me, he was like, just keep trying. And he consistently said that through the years, from us being like kids to like now. Even now, he'll still repost our recaps and the videos we post, because he still believes. Right. So he's definitely one who musically and personally just influential to me. But musically, I would say the top ones are Royce da 5'9",
He just put out a project.
He did the Allegory. Okay. Yes, beautiful. I would say Earl Sweatshirt. I would say Boogie. And I would say Jameson.
Okay. Okay. So those are mostly people that's not top 40. But not top 40. When I say top 40, I mean they're not on constant rotation. Like that. Yeah. But still produce bangers.
Yes. Yeah. They take their craft seriously. You know, you can tell by the way it comes out. So definitely.
You want to take a shot at it again?
Don't embarrass us.
I kind of wanted to just stay my ground and be like, yo, but okay, so I guess
I have my own inspiration.
All right, so I guess running it back, and then I could probably say, like, just to mirror even some of the things that were said here, I could probably say like Earl Sweatshirt, and Mick Jenkins. I think I remember the first time I was listening to Earl Sweatshirt, because we're like the same age as him. Like all of us are the same age as him. So when he was blowing up in like 2010 and all that stuff with all that wildness, I was like, yo, this dude can rap, and he's like my same age. And what's crazy is this was around the time that we had started rapping. So he was there. So it was like, yo, we had started rapping, and like Rob said, we're trying to figure out how to stay on beat, because like I had originally taken a shot at rap because like I had done poetry when I was younger, so I was like, it's similar enough that I can try this, right? So it was hard to stay on beat originally, yet across the country there's this kid my same age who's going crazy, rapping dummy, just going every single day on every single track. And then I was like, yo, like I'm trying to get like that.
It was like that.
I'm really trying to get like that. You know what I mean? And you know, he went away for quite a bit of time, and he came back, and I was still following like everything that he was dropping, and I was like, yeah, I would like to. I try my best not to like rap like him, because you don't want to try to imitate nobody, especially if someone's really good. You don't want to be a worse version or something that already exists. But that was something definitely that I always kept an eye on. Just because he's so good. And then also, as Nkosi said, Mick Jenkins, not only just because of the consistency, but just because he's like so unrelentingly raw with like what he talks about. Like he will never sell out. He will always talk about what he wants to do. He will always make it, he will give you lyrics on lyrics on lyrics, but he will make that hook fire, and he will not ever just stop with that. He will never ever compromise any level of that. So that's something that I really appreciate with those two, most definitely. And then I would also say definitely like Mac Miller, R.I.P.
Oh yeah,
because his versatility is crazy. I didn't know he could rap until like 2014. I remember it was just like one song, one random Lucy that he had with Earl Sweatshirt. No, Earl Sweatshirt in 2014. No. It was all Faces. It was New Faces. And I was like, time out. I was like, when could he? I was like, this is good. And then I like went to listen to the rest of the project. I was like, I didn't know he could rap like this. I didn't know he could make music like this. You know what I mean?
Project made him stand out.
Yeah, exactly. And then every other project that he had, like he did something completely new, but it was so authentic, and you could just tell like he's such a genuine person from the music. So you know, there's definitely an element of inspiration there. Like, and out of all like artists, like there's so many artists I really like that are on my rotation all the time, and I don't want to meet none of them. Like honestly, I have no interest in meeting any of those people. But Mac Miller was the one person I was like, nah, I listen to you all the time, and I would love to meet you and tell you that, and to chill with you and all that stuff. So yeah, I would definitely say him as an inspiration for sure.
Okay.
That was better than the first time.
Yeah. Give me a little time.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do? Let me see what time it is. All right, I'm gonna go into another song.
Okay.
For sure.
And then we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna talk about. Come on. We got Interstellar.
Great.
Play that.
Cool.
Yes.
All right, so it's your girl Kim Dynasty, WEMS Radio. We here with If the Shoe Fits, and we're gonna get into Interstellar.
Yeah, that's that stuff.
お前はもう死んでいる。何？
I need space.
I need space.
I don't need your hazy vision clouding mine. Get out my face.
Get about my face.
I can't behave all the time. I need more than money. All these honeys on me. I need space. I need more than money. All these honeys on me. I need space. I take a trip to a nebula. If I could just rip on my schedule. So bringing and packing and edible. I'm chilling in heavenly vibes. It's human to take all that medicine. You hurting, but I see your diet. Y'all grinding to get at a revenue, but don't make it to 75. Here to make paper, not major decisions. I never been lonely the way I've been living. You say that you feel me, then why are you tripping? I wanna breathe at the end of things, knowing the earth will remember me. Now that the hands of my enemies, never concerned with the vanity, chilling the void. It's up with my preference. I need space.
I need space.
I don't need your hazy vision clouding mine. Get out my face.
Get about my face.
I can't behave all the time. I need more than money. All these honeys on me. I need space. I need more than money. All these honeys on me.
Yeah. She said her body's calling, told her leave a message. I ain't got the time for no it's needs of questions. You can miss me with a lengthy dialogue. Girl, I'm not a shorty you can cry on. I need space. A lot of y'all are bitter to the taste. Only I can have to save face. I ain't care about the mood. I don't need nobody in the room. I could be alone and just goon. Let me tell you where you off. You do it for the gram or the snap or the cloud, but it don't help out. I do it for the fan, for the glow, through the highs and the lows, for the growth till it's all maxed out. And I don't really need too much in this life, and I don't really feel too much in this life. I just need a bag in my bay and a place we can stay, and I swear it'll feel just right. Catharsis.
You know what your problem is? You think money grows on trees. Just go and pick you $400-$500 and go off and just dance and eat chicken and dance, and you just having all the fun in the world. You know how many stinking dog I gotta catch to fill that big ass bowl you got there, boy?
It's your girl Kim Dynasty Show, WEMS Radio. We still here with If the Shoe Fits. So I got a question. Like, I've heard new artists say that they're afraid to come out now because of all the hoopla about new artists, mumble rap. They don't want to be put in a box. They don't want to be categorized with other artists that aren't as, I want to say, respected. So that creates some sort of fear. But you guys obviously don't have that fear. You guys feel like you guys can come out and stand alone.
Yeah.
Opposite your, I'm just gonna put it out there, the Kodak Blacks, your Uzis, Playboy Cardi, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I do like Uzi and Playboy Cardi and all those. Yeah. But it seems like a lot of the new artists have gotten kind of a bad reputation, and a lot of new artists tell me they don't want to even come out because they feel like they're gonna be categorized and put in the same box. But you guys, how do you guys feel about that?
Well, can I say something about that real quick?
Yeah, go ahead. I have something to say too.
So what I'll say about like music in general, like it doesn't matter what the box or the label is. Like if you make it and you feel it's good and people like it, that should kind of just be, like, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're reaching people, if you're touching people, obviously you don't really want to be spreading negativity or anything. But as far as like mumble rap this, mumble rap that, I remember like around the time when that phrase was coined. Like I don't like all of the music that is categorized as mumble rap, but at the same time, there are so many gems there. You know what I'm saying? A lot of gems there. And then two is the fact that if I don't like it, it's not for me. You know what I mean? Like that should kind of just be the end of it. Like you don't really have to do this whole like old head versus new hip hop whatever debate however often because some 19-year-old rapper never heard of Biggie Smalls. Like we don't have to do this every time. You know what I'm saying? So just feel you feel, like the music that you like. And so what I'll say to the artists is that like there is an audience for the music that you are making, because at some point in time, any type of music was new music, and a lot of the new music is looked down upon for whatever reason, but then it becomes popular, but then people like it, but then it gains traction, you know what I'm saying? So whatever music that you're making, and you think that, you know, people may not like it, like that could be the next thing, so hold true to it if you really believe in it.
That was a very nice answer. I'll give the converse.
Okay.
I really fucking hate when people think that you have to have this contrived reason to why the music came to pass and why it exists in the first place. At some certain point, Lil Uzi and Cardi came out at a similar time where there wasn't mumble rap, and they shot the shit. They thought of it. They thought it was dope, and they put it out. People liked it. They kept doing it. It wasn't that they were like, yo, I had this idea to make mumble rap, and they thought of this whole formula. They thought it was cool, and they did it. So a lot of people, like, they have this thing where it's like, how do these people do this? How do these people do that? The one dope thing about us is we sit in a basement, we think about ideas, and we just bounce them off each other. Some ideas work, some ideas don't, but even the ideas that don't, a lot of times we can come back to them and fix them and make them work. So it's the process of trial and error. So the whole thing is a lot of people saying they're scared. That's a timidness that you have to get over, or you can never call yourself an artist. Because an artist is created by their failures, not their successes. That's 100% the truth. Because
we fail all the time.
We fail all the time.
But
you guys just don't see it because we just smile through it. That's the process. That's the process. So like I really hate when a lot of people like are like, oh my god, like, you know, like this person just this person doesn't like really like have like a concept or something like that. They're just doing it and it doesn't make sense. It's like things don't need to make sense. They could just be music. Music just comes from a primal space.
But there's a fear there of, I think a lot of new artists aren't afraid of being themselves. Whereas I don't want to say old school rap is more putting on a front.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the new artists just say what's in their heart and say what they feel, and I think that scares a lot of people.
I mean, you could just do what everybody else does and lie.
Lying is cool, but transparency is, you feel a lot more free doing it. So it's really up to what you want to do, but never be hindered by people disliking the content, because there will always be some group online that'll find it and be like, yo, this is the cult for me. And then that's where following has existed. Like Lil B is the hilarious thing. We love Lil B. A lot of people think Lil B is trash, but the reason why Lil B is so awesome is because he makes music that is just so different. It's like, I don't know why this exists, but I'll listen to it. But I'll listen to it.
You know what?
Was on YouTube.
Listen to Pink Flame mixtape.
What I'll add is, I mean, it goes back to what we were talking, how like we go to a lot of events and we see that like artists are not as prepared as us, because if you are not ready to get on stage and live in your own truth and to say it with your full chest, you're not ready.
Without yourself spitting in the background with your own audio.
That's it. And then exactly. Yes, but what I'll say, well, also to that is the fact that, like, you know, we saw the news where Waka's like, I'm whack. I am a whack rapper, but like it made me this amount of money, and then I stopped rapping. I knew I wasn't good, but I got out here and I made it good, and that's what made it good. You know what I'm saying? So, yo, say it with your chest, believe in it with all of your heart, and it's not really gonna matter what it sounds like. You know what I'm saying? That dude, who is it? The dude who's like, he's got the high pitched pipsqueak voice.
I don't even know his name.
It's like
I've heard him way too many times.
245.9 or something like that. He's like, yo, this is gonna hit for somebody. So I'm definitely gonna do this. Yeah.
All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna close out the show.
All right.
I'm definitely gonna play.
My dogs.
Yeah, my dogs. But before we get there, let me know again where you guys are gonna be, so people can find you, your Instagram, everything.
So you can find us on Instagram at ITSF Collective. You can find us on Facebook under If the Shoe Fits.
No, you can find us on Facebook under ITSF Collective.
You can find us on Facebook under ITSF Collective. And if you are in the NYC area on March 19th, you can catch us at Arlene's Groceries. That is Arlene's Groceries at 95 Stanton Street. I don't know why that matters. You can just type in Lower East Side. Yeah. If you're in Nassau County, you can catch us at our Nets halftime show. That'll be at the Nassau Coliseum. And if you are also in LI on the 28th, you can catch us at Odera's music release party, and that'll be in Bethpage.
Okay. All right. So with that being said, it's your girl Kim Dynasty Show. We're going to wrap it up with If the Shoe Fits. Yeah. And we're going to play My Dogs.
Beautiful.
Ooh,
yes.
My Dogs.
Girl, you fine, I'm in trance, what's your sign? Let's make plans, we should link. Get your friends, I'll bring my dogs, bring my dogs, bring my dogs. Bring my dogs? I'll bring my dogs, bring my dogs, bring my dogs. Let me know, hey, ooh, we should dance. Girl, you fine, I'm in trance, what's your sign? Let's make plans, we should link. Get your friends, I'll bring my dogs, bring my dogs, bring my dogs. Bring my dogs? I'll bring my dogs, bring my dogs, bring my dogs. Let me know, hey. Pull up to the party in a Pico. Had 2 drinks, still need 3 more. Shorty figure hourglass in mahogany skin and them 4C puffs, that's a cheat code. I'm my lead, but I still ran game, no. She was feeling the boy if you ain't know. And I always been a saint, need a halo. Cause I put on for the guys when I came though. Look, ask her if she got some friends for Dawkins. Tender hearted into all the drawing. Who don't like dance or soca reggaeton. Bobby probably rather stay at home. Shorty's into horoscopes and chakras. Need